If you have found out about any more gear, then I'm sorry for your purchase and your bank account. But today we're gonna go over every bit of camera gear that I bring to weddings, and I just want to go over all of the camera bodies I use, lenses, audio, and accessories, gimbals, monopods, everything like that. Coming from me, I am in my first year of doing weddings, but in the past I have worked for big companies like University of Alabama football team, worked for them for 3 years, and then while I was there, also worked for some other cool companies like CVS, Cineback V, and some other ones for content and for NIL deals and stuff like that. But let's just hop right into it. In this guide, I'm going to show you more of, hey, you know, I'm a solo shooter. This is a 2-camera setup. This is like nothing crazy. Like I don't have 4 different camera setups and have 4 different people running the cameras. Nope, 2 cameras and me, and sometimes a second shooter. And also all this stuff is going to be linked in my Amazon front below in the description, so check that out if you're looking to get any camera gear. There's no extra price, but I get a small commission, and that would be awesome. The whole philosophy around how I've set up my gear, and you know, there's always like some new gear that I want, but right now I'm pretty happy with what my gear is at right now, and the gear that I have all have specific needs that they meet. First thing I want is reliability. So for both the cameras, they both have dual card slots, so I can put CFX Express Type A slot in both of them, so the readout speeds for video will be high enough. Also, I went with 2 Sony bodies because that was the lenses I have. I don't want 2 different brands and then the lenses don't match, because I'm a Sony user and all the way we're going Sony. All right, so let's go over the first thing. What I use for the A-cam is the Sony A7 IV. That's actually what I'm using right now to record this video. I absolutely love this. It's 7K video and it's downsampled to 4K. So honestly, it's like the sharpest 4K video that you can get right now compared to like FX30 or anything like that. Now, the dual base ISO is like, it's not bad. I think it's 800 and 3200, not bad. I wish I had the FX3, now the FX5, I wish I had that one. But that is the next upgrade. Sony A7 IV, love it. Also, I do pictures sometimes, so pictures on this thing is amazing. So it's really good at both of those things, but it is a lot better than the FX30 because the FX30 is APS-C and that is my B cam. So APS-C, Super 35, same thing, has a crop on all the lenses. So right now I'm using the 16mm Viltrox. So instead of the 16mm look right now, it'll be zoomed in to like, it'll be 24mm. So big difference there. So all your lenses get a 1.5 times crop. So do 16 and then half of that, 8, and then you add that on. So 16mm and 24mm difference is a lot. Also, the low light is not as good as the A7 IV, but nowadays there's a lot of noise reduction capabilities inside of editing software. The big cam is a lot lighter, so that's something I usually keep on a gimbal. Also, the dual base ISO is like 800 and 2500. It's the big cam for a reason, because I always keep it in the back of the ceremony. I usually throw a 7200 on there, so it turns into like a 105 to 300. Somewhere in there. So you get that longer reach and you get more of like facial details. So whenever the bride is walking down the aisle, zoom in on the groom, and then, you know, if he's crying, stuff like that, then it's a perfect lens for that and a setup for that. Also, if I miss a shot, then I have it on second camera. So I highly suggest having a second camera with you at all times. That is a rundown on the cameras and why I use them. And it does sound like that I want new cameras because the FX5 is actually a dream to have, but we don't have it yet. One day. The lenses I use, I can actually show you. The lens I just talked about is the Sony 7200. So this is an absolute great lens and I highly suggest it. It is a little pricey, but like I said, this is the one you want at the back of the ceremony. So a big ceremony space, then you can have it all the way in the back and then you can zoom all the way in and get perfect shots. I highly suggest that. I wouldn't say it's a need. They also have a Sigma 24 or 70-200 one now. It's a little bit cheaper. I'll probably get that. I don't think there's any difference. Besides, this one's white, stands out more. And then currently I'm using the 16mm Viltrox. Highly suggest this. This is perfect for those reception shots, just walking around in the crowd and throwing a light on your camera and getting that cool look is awesome. Highly suggest that. Also, it's great in low light. It has an f-stop of 1.8. And then honestly, probably best looking lens I have is the Viltrox 35mm 1.2. Like the background out of this lens is crazy. It looks like a cinema lens, but it has autofocus, which is sick. I suggest, and for the money, I'd say this is probably the best bang for the buck, but it is prime. It is a prime lens, so you don't have as much versatility, but the look out of this lens is awesome. And then on this rig right here, we have the FX30, and then on it we are using the 24-70 f2.8. Best lens by far. If you're gonna have one lens in your set, get the 24-70. It is honestly the only lens you need, but if you want different looks, want different styles, different needs, just make your life easier, then get different lenses. But this is the one that I'll highly suggest to anybody that's just starting out. On this we have the FX30, so just stay on here, keep it on here. This one will usually stay on the gimbal, and then I'll just be running around with that. The Sony A7 IV, I'll have it fully built out and rigged out for all day shoots. So this is my baby. It is the RS5 DJI gimbal, and I gotta say, I have had two different gimbals. The RS2 Pro, which has a lot higher weight, so it can handle a lot more weight. This one's just so much lighter in general, because whenever you're hauling around a gimbal for 4 hours straight, it does get heavy, and it's going to get heavy no matter what. And this one right here is probably the best. It's the smoothest, and it does have the tracking. So it has a tracking module, so you can just select around a person, and then you can just walk around and automatically track them, which is cool. And then it also has the wireless camera control, so you can start recording from the gimbal. Can't lie, I love it, and it does save my tail a lot. But I highly suggest a gimbal. You don't have to have a gimbal, but it can make your shots a lot more smooth and a lot more pleasing to the eye. This is how I build out my camera. So this is a Cineback, and this right here is where you put your V-mount battery, and then you have a couple of plugins on the side and a D-tap. So this is just how I rig up my camera. Also, it looks like a more expensive camera whenever you rig it up. I've got a lot of confidence on that. You get two USB-C ports, and then you get D-tap space. So, you know, you can charge your camera. Also, you use another slot to power your monitor. So this is a need for long days. It does get heavy, but it's worth it because you don't want to be in the middle of a ceremony and your camera's about to die and you're screwed. So now, since we're already talking about rigging your camera out, I suggest having a V-mount battery. This is the K&F 90 something V-mount battery, and for the money is the best one that you can have, I think. Also tells you the percentage on the back, which is super handy because you always want to know what your batteries are at. I suggest having two of these. I've found that if you just keep your camera on all day and you're powering a monitor and your camera, then you're looking at like 6 hours in, it might die, somewhere like that, so you need two. And then this right here is a FC battery or something like that. I don't quite remember, but for monitors, let's say for the second camera, I have a monitor on there. This is the battery pack for the monitor to keep it charged, so I don't have to run around with another rig like that. This is more run and gun. Honestly, they last like all day. I haven't had any problems with those at all. So next, let's get into more of the audio side, which is very, very important in wedding videos. It's one of the most important things besides the visuals. Some argue that it's more important. I argue they're about equal. So currently, this is being recorded on the Sennheiser MK600. So I gotta say, this is the best shotgun mic for the money. There's some more shotgun mics, but they require XLR input, and my cameras don't offer XLR input. This is the best option that I think you can get. There's a couple different ones, but this one sounds amazing. How it's set up now is has phantom power built into the mic. So from the mic, you got an XLR output, and then you go into 3mm jack, so you can plug that straight into a camera. Or how I have it set up now is it goes straight into a DJI mic 2 port. So there's a plug-in on the top. There's a plug-in on the top, and you can plug the mic straight into this, and then you get 32-bit float audio, which is insane. Gotta say, that means all the audio is completely recoverable. That saves your tail so many times. So I highly suggest doing that. And then also you can set it up in a different way. If you're doing interviews, you can set this up above the person and then have it going down, and then the audio will be sent from the mic to your camera wirelessly. Absolutely awesome. I highly suggest doing that. I use the MK600 for shotgun mic on my main camera, and then for the bride and groom, if I'm not plugging into the DJI mic, I'll throw a mic on the groom, and then I'll throw a mic on the bride. So they both get mic'd up on full day. They'll get mic'd up because the batteries on the DJI mics last forever. And then I have I'll use lav mics to run and hide the mics and the wires and everything so you can't see them. And then I had this little pack right here. It is a great way to hide all of your lav mics and to stick them on there. It comes with some sticky tape to tape it to certain areas and also hide it. There's a white version and there's a black version, so I have one for the bride and one for the groom. Also, it comes with a little bit of like holster thing for your lav mic, for the mic itself, so you can throw the mic in here and then it won't get that rustling sound whenever you go back. If you had that problem before, this will keep from that. And then you got some wind mics in here, some wind for thingies, dead cats. So these are great. This is a great pack to have, highly suggest. And then the lav mics, I use 2 Rode lav mics. One of them's a Pro and one of them's a Pro 2. One of them's black and one of them's white. So that, highly suggest having lav mics. It adds so much to the story, especially if they're doing private vowels, or you just get funny moments in general, so that enhances the audio by a lot. B-cam, I use this Sony mic. It is I think ECM B10 or something like that. Honestly, this is a really useful mic. I use this for a lot of different things because it has auto gain, so it's always going to be set to the right audio, and it auto levels itself, which is perfect. You don't have to worry about audio levels when you're using this. Also, it has a couple different options, so you can have more of a shotgun mic or a little bit more of an omnidirectional mic. There's 3 different options there. So highly suggest this mic if you ever want your hands on it. And you don't have to use a wire for the mic. It hooks up to the hot shoe mount. In a rainy or like damp area, I would suggest using this instead of having like this sides of the camera open, because it could save the camera. Also, I have a bunch of these go bags. This is where I keep all of my accessories, and if you never felt these things, but they're like they're like rubbery textured, they're see-through, but I keep all of my accessories in pouches like this. They come in all different types of sizes. There's a big one than this, and then there's a smaller one than this. So I keep all of my stuff together. Like, I'll keep all my cables in this, and then I'll use the mount. I'll keep mounts in here, and I have another one for like all my audio equipment and everything like that, so that everything is organized, and also not waterproof, but weather resistant, which is awesome, because when you're making a big investment like this, I highly suggest keeping up with your gear and trying to keep it healthy as long as possible. I have 2 different monitors. One is an older one that I've had for a while, is a Viltrox DCX2 or something along those lines. I don't know, I'll link it down in the description. This one can't beat it. I mean, it's smaller, it's a little bit heavier, but it gets the job done. It doesn't have any camera controls, but it works. My second one is one I just got like a few months ago, and it is a Portkeys LH7P. I don't know why they have weird names for these monitors, but 7-inch monitor. The other one's 5.5, so you get a lot more screen, and this one's a little bit brighter than this one. But this one has camera controls, so you can see when you're recording, and you can change your shutter and all the settings inside the camera wirelessly. So that is pretty awesome. I have had 0 problems with it, and I love it. It helps me out a lot. All right, next, ND filters. We have a newer option here. We have the Freewell setup. So the Freewell is like a 2 to 16 ND or 2 to 32 ND filter, something like that. But this has the quick attach features, so this you can throw on a little bit of filter on the outside of your camera, and then you just go over here and you just clip it on, and then you can clip it off. So that is a lifesaver whenever you're running inside and outside. So let's say you're inside and you got to run outside real quick. Instead of screwing on the ND filter on the end, you can just go in there and clip this on, which is a lifesaver. Also it has a like super easy front cap to just throw on and take off. So that's awesome too. It comes with a extra ND filter, so if you're outside and you don't have enough ND, if you don't have enough filtration, I don't know, then you can throw this on the front too to get extra. Super helpful, and this makes your job more efficient and a little bit easier. So I highly suggest. What are you going to keep your camera gear in, and how you're going to travel with it? So I use the Pelican Air like 550 or something like that, whichever one is classified as a carry-on. It's that size. I'll leave a link in the description. Honestly, if you're gonna invest this much into camera gear, I would highly suggest leaving it in something that's waterproof and indestructible. And Pelican has not failed me yet. I have two of them. I have that, and then a smaller one, and then just this Pelican Vault that keeps all of my accessories and audio gear. I will die on the hill with Pelican for my camera gear, because it is worth the investment by far. I love their stuff, and that one has the dividers on the inside. For my drone, I highly suggest the DJI Air 3S. I gotta say, it is the best bang for buck on a drone. You can get like a Mavic or a Mavic 4. I was in between the Air 3S and the Mavic 4 Pro, and just for double the price, I don't think it was double the quality, so I had to go with the Air 3S. The screen remote, highly suggest, instead of using your phone. I gotta say that is definitely worth the little bit of the upgrade. Just if you learn how to color grade drone footage and make sure you use the DJI like D-Log, boost your output of your video and the look of it by a lot. So that is it for the drone. I bring a couple of different lights with me too. You can kind of see the light back here, and then the light set up in front of me. They're Amaran something, I think 50C, something like that. Leave a link to those in the description too. They're super lightweight and can be powered by V-mount batteries. So if you don't have a plug-in or you're outside, you can set these up and they'll light up the scene perfectly. And they're Bluetooth capable. That is all the yapping from me. If you learned anything, or if you have found out about any more gear, then I'm sorry for your purchase and your bank account, but I highly suggest all of this equipment to you. And if you learned something from this video about gear, then leave a comment below. Follow. I'm gonna try to do more of YouTube videos like this about going over camera gear, because I'm a camera gear nerd and love what I do. Also, if you want to use the affiliate links in the bottom, there's no extra cost to you, but I'll make a little bit off of it and it'll be much appreciated. So have a good rest of your day. Peace.